The Tampa area has always been talked about as being vulnerable to a major hurricanes. Had a number of near misses. In fact, 1921 was the last major hurricane to directly hit Tampa. So knowing that they were vulnerable, we'll get to the reasons why in a moment, the city in 2010 drew up this disaster plan. And in that plan, they tested everything back and forth, and they came up with this system where they say they were prepared for 160 mile per hour winds, and also, a ridiculous storm surge. They said they could handle 26 feet. Now, here's the thing with Milton. A lot of this could get tested like it's never been tested before this week, even if we don't get to those levels. National Weather Service is looking for 15 feet maybe for Milton. I mean, elevation's really the issue in Tampa. It's somewhere between sea level and 50 feet below sea level. I think even if we zoom in on these areas where they're looking for the surge, 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15. There's Fort Myers, a little bit south, 6 to 10. But again, in this Tampa area, I'm going to look at the geography of it in a moment. You get 10 to 15, you got yourself, a big problem. And we have it here. This is how it works in an animation if you get to a certain level. Look at this. This is from the city of Treasure Island. Just pause it for a moment. See, they had the family here, in this animation walking out of their house. And we were saying 10 to 15 a moment ago, if you just get to 6 to 9 feet, look where you already are, because remember, you're at sea level or maybe just slightly below it. And then if it keeps going, and so I've unpaused it here for a moment, you get to 9 to 12. I mean, this is why they're saying get out now, because you're at 12 feet or more, you're going to have all kinds of problems. So again, headed right towards Tampa. So even if you don't get to 160 mile an hour winds, even if you're below that threshold we talked about a few minutes ago, it's going to test the limits, what a 10-foot storm surge looks like in the Tampa area in particular. So what's interesting about this, the Tampa area is unique, and I'm sure Brian can talk about that in a moment when he comes on. But once you get in, and he's in Gulfport, so right by St. Petersburg, and the water starts coming in this area. Where does it go? Into old Tampa Bay, or up this way to the city of Tampa, and you can imagine the storm surge and the flooding that gets in there. In fact, here we have it, and what it would look like in these kind of animations that they've come up with. So again, this is the path right now. Again, this will be updated throughout, and by sometime on Wednesday night, we expect this hurricane, probably as a Cat 4, to come across the entire peninsula of Florida. But again, the vulnerability, Tampa, St. Pete, in that area really can't be overstated. Final thing. The wind. We talk a lot about surge, and, as Craig Fugate was saying, wind's also important. Look, I'll just pause it for a second. This is one of these animations where they look at intensity, wind intensity scale from the National Hurricane Center. So just at a Category 1, remember, Category 1's under 100 miles an hour, you're going to have a lot of damage. Let it go here. Now you get to Category 2 and you're starting to see some real damage get done. So, when they say, and this is just getting to Category 3, oh, it's not Cat 5 anymore, it's still a major hurricane once it gets past 3, and you're talking well over 100. It's to 130 miles an hour. We'll pause it at a Cat 4. Look at all the damage that's being done in this animation, over 130 miles an hour, which is what this storm is now at a Category 4. And of course, Category 5, there's a reason that they use the term catastrophic. Look at that when they say Cat 5, which is what the storm was.